Lamborghini Huracan Evo is not your average car to drive. It actually takes a little bit of a lesson, and there's all kinds of stuff that is a surprise. Some of it I think is very smart. There's some things I wish we had on every car, but this is Kelly from Lamborghini, and Kelly is going to show us. By the way, if I said Scotty and Kelly, guess which one is Scotty and guess which one is Kelly, what would you guess? Isn't that funny? Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
And they're, oh, I was expecting a woman. I always get, oh, I was expecting a man.
Exactly.
Right? So Kelly from Lamborghini is going to give us a little walk around on the interior of the Lamborghini. So come here, let me show you. So Kelly, before we start the engine, what do I need to know? What are some basic things I need to know?
Well, first thing you need to know is to put your seatbelt on.
Okay, I will put on my seatbelt.
Safety
You buckle up
first,
too.
Yep.
Right, you are right.
Always the first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then typically check our mirrors, etc., all that good stuff like we would do in any car.
So I will say the mirror setting, even though these are tiny little buttons, it was typical of what I see in other cars. So you push this button, and you can just turn it here and toggle it left and right, and then that's your right mirror, right? And that's is that the mirror defrost?
Yep, defrost.
And this
mode.
you can fold them in.
Exactly.
Right. Nice. So that was easy to figure out.
That's starting in our left door. Naturally lock, unlock, all that stuff. And let's just work our way over, shall we?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, the next function that we come to would be the paddle shifters. This car, when we start it, it'll start in automatic mode, which means it will shift for you. But then alternatively, if you want to drive with the paddle shifters, you can use the manual button right here. So that'll be all paddle shifting in the car. So it's just your option. You can paddle shift in automatic mode. And if you don't do anything for about 12 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds, it will revert back to automatic mode and put you in the ideal and optimum gear for the speed that you're traveling at.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I just want to downshift just to hear it blip,
down on the
left, I can do that with
the
with
Even
the
if
left.
you're in automatic mode, you can just downshift with the left.
And will it upshift if I'm on automatic? So if I feel like I want to just get that energy super quick, I can just pull the right paddle.
Exactly.
Okay.
I call it putting money in the bank. When you're downshifting, you're putting that energy and power into it. And then I call it spending the money, is we're accelerating out and we're upshifting.
Spending the money, I like that.
Exactly. Spending your power, essentially.
Okay.
Next, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel here, we have our bright selection and then a left and right turn. So it's very easy to use. You're keeping your hands on the steering wheel. You're not grabbing for the stalk, etc. Stalks on the car would be not the best scenario, as we have the big paddles back here. So that's why it's really nice. It's just at your fingertips. So what would typically be on the stalk, either being the turn signal, and or on the right-hand side here, alternatively, you also have your windshield wiper.
So you can see, is this the washer fluid? If I push that, I got washer fluid. And this is to turn the windshield wipers on.
Slower and faster.
And slower and faster. Okay.
And typically you'll just push in. So once I engage either the left or right turn, I'm just going to push that button to turn it off. If it doesn't go off on its own after you've made the turn, you just push in on that button and it'll shut off.
Okay. Oh, that's clever. Yeah. This is one of the ones I really like. I wish all turn signals were just on the steering wheel.
Simple, right?
It's so easy. Yeah.
People overcomplicated it, just like they overcomplicate paddle shifting. But it's a much easier scenario.
What are these buttons here?
Those control your screen features, so it's an all-digital dashboard. So that lets you rotate through your phone, your entertainment, your navigation, your trip computers, etc. It'll be fun for you to play around with that over the next few days. You'll see what it entails, how it changes the screen, etc. Another way not only change the screen, but the performance of the car is located here at the bottom of the steering wheel. We call that the ANIMA. And that is the ANIMA, A-N-I-M-A.
ANIMA. Okay, thank you for explaining that.
To control the animal, basically. When we start the car, we're in Strata, which we call street mode. That's the most lax as far as the performance setting goes. It's just for normal street driving. It's going to be your most comfortable driving scenario. When we go to sport, it's altering our engine management system. You'll hear the car get a little bit louder. Your screen will change as well when you go into sport mode. Our suspension will become stiffer and our steering will become a little bit stiffer. It'll also loosen up our ESC, or electronic slip control, a little bit. And then when we come down all the way into Corsa, that's track mode. So now that would be our most aggressive engine setting. It's going to be louder. Once again, your steering is going to be even stiffer, your suspension is going to be even stiffer, and your engine management system will be even more aggressive than the sport mode. So typically when you're in that mode, it's taking you much higher through the RPM range to get more of that power we were talking about earlier, putting more money in the bank, right?
So you also get a nice exclusive driver information display.
It will change with each mode setting in your driver display, and that's pretty cool. If we work our way to the right here, all of these switches that we come to up here, very simple. We have our windows. Naturally, it's a push up and a pull down in that scenario. This is to raise the nose of the car. So if you're in a situation that you feel as though you may scrape the nose of the car, you're just going to pull back on that, and the nose will raise. You'll see a little yellow car. It'll show it raising, blinking, and once it's all the way up, it will become solid. And then once you either breach a certain miles per hour or you engage it yourself, you just pull it again, and you'll see it blink, and you'll notice the nose of the car going down. This is what we call the ESC, or electronic slip control. Don't ever touch that button. The only time I've ever witnessed things go wrong in a car is when somebody does that. It's basically the save your rear end button. So if the car were to get somewhat out of control, that helps right the car. Okay. Naturally, hazard. This is your park distance control. This is the automatic on off. If you don't like the car shutting off when you come to a stop, which I hate personally. I don't like a car doing anything that I don't tell it to. You can disengage that there, and then naturally your right window is here. And then as far as once we start the car, these are our controls. So naturally a pull back would be reverse, P for park, manual as we discussed earlier.
In and out of this car is not that easy, I will say.
With a little practice, it's no problem.
Yes. Okay.
You'll feel it.
Oh, it's very easy. Oh, I like that. There's a little tab there. And you do have a tiny space.
Yeah, a couple of nice travel bags. Typically a nice soft duffel for you and your partner if you're traveling out for the weekend.
Okay. But that's all the space you got.
That's it.
That's all the space you got.
Unless you want to strap someone to the roof. That's it.
Yeah, okay. And what is this? Is this windshield washer fluid?
Yep, exactly.
Because you got to keep your windshield clean if you run into a dust storm or something, right? And wow. And what are
little bags?
Just a little storage area. Oh, tools. Tools. Okay.
Just in case.
Oh yeah. Well, you might. And I think I see a cover in there, so you can cover it. You don't want to leave it, you know, with bird droppings or something, in case you get a flat tire. Oh, and there's a 12 volt. I see a 12 volt and a work light. So you can, if you need to plug something in, like a air compressor to put air in your tires.
Exactly. Yep.
I know that one.
Or charge something.
Okay. Let's go and look at the back.
So this is our beautiful V10 engine.
V10.
Yep.
What's the horsepower on this car?
The horsepower on this is 630 horsepower.
630 horsepower. And what's
610?
610.
It's 610 now? Sorry, okay.
610 horsepower and
all-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive.
Yep. And our newer cars are also coming out with all-wheel steering, which is really nice from a handling standpoint, because at lower speeds your back tires move counter your front and give you a much tighter turning radius. At higher speeds they turn in concert with one another. So it's effortless turning at the higher speeds. Naturally, if you can imagine both your wheels turning at once, it takes very little effort to turn in high speeds. And under here is also our top. And then under these right here are...
If we were to roll this, they would come out to protect the heads of the
literally
people in the car.
within milliseconds. If the car recognizes an angle that's too steep or too sharp, it'll deploy those. Each one on its own is enough to support the entire weight of the vehicle.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
The entire weight of the vehicle.
But to be honest, if you wind up in that situation, you've done something very wrong, because the way that this car performs between the all-wheel drive, its low center of gravity, and its wide stance, it's not often that you find these flipping over that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we won't be trying that one today. I don't think.
Nope, I hope.
All right, Kelly, I think we're going to take it for a ride.
Scotty, it's such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you.
Nice
Have
to
a great
meet you
time out
too.
there.
Thanks
Be
for the
safe,
walkthrough.
Be courteous.
We will. We will. Be courteous. I like the message about being courteous. So now that we've had the walkthrough from the pro to show us how to drive this car, some things that I never would have guessed and some things that are not super intuitive, I think it's time to take it for a drive. So let's give it a start. That is so good. All right, we do also have navigation here. So I'm going to find our navigation and we're going to go to Commodore Perry. Let's see. So let's go. To put it in gear, you just pull that paddle and away we go. Say goodbye to all the Lambos that are left here. And every good drive must come to an end in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spyder, which is the convertible. That means you have to put the top up. So you just hold this button here in the center console, and the Lamborghini does all the work for you.